Hello and welcome to Pokemon Horizons, episode 35 review. And this episode is a really fun one, as it's Cap and Friede focused, but kind of through a lens of Liko having to look at a bond of a trainer and a Pokemon that they personally know for a school project. The Rising Volt tacklers need money, so he and Cap are going to look for a Bramblin for a friend. So with Liko and Roy tagging along, they get into all sorts of hijinks, so they chase it about, with Liko looking at moments that make her think, oh yeah, those two get along well, or moments where they disagree on the next course of action. It's just kind of nice having that bit of analysis, but within universe, and also not forgetting that Liko is actually a student. It's also pretty funny how it reveals that Cap's got a weakness after all, which is being called cute. You know, Cap's just a little guy wearing a silly little hat. He's gonna get called cute. Of course, there's got to be some conflict, so there's a Pokemon hunter who captures Bramblin and various other Pokemon, which they confront the group over. I really like the weird mishmash of Pokemon these hunters have, like a Toxtricity, Omastar, and Mudsdale. That's just a weird group, and the animation in this section is pretty great. The lead hunter is a lady who wants cute things, so yeah, it's kind of how they nerf Cap here and give the kids a little something to do. But it all becomes a hostage situation as the lead hunter threatens the Pokemon with her Avalugg. Again, a weird mishmash of Pokemon, but I like seeing that. Even in this whole situation, Cap and Friede seem to not be getting along, which throws Liko off, as it might shatter our idea of an ideal Pokemon bond, you know? So as Cap runs off, Roy and Liko step up to fight off the henchman, and as the henchman is distracted, Friede calls out to Cap, who jumps off down the cliff that we noticed earlier, and Thunder punches Avalugg to take it out, which is what I put on the show for as a distraction. Friede also noticed that Bramblin was close to evolving, so asks for its help as it becomes a Brambleghast and frees a Pokemon from a cage with its new powers. As Roy asks about the argument, Friede tells him it wasn't really a plan, it was more going along with what Cap had come up with and kind of got the gist of it. Which is nice, you know, it shows he's got a deep understanding of his partner's thoughts and puts his trust into him. And the way Cap takes out the rest of the hunters is great, using Omastar's Rock Blast as footing to knock down Toxtricity and Omastar into the air, and launch him into Mudsdale to take them out. It's a great showing of power. A little high five at the end is also reminiscent of Ash and Pikachu, which is a great reference. Liko manages to complete a report, not quite fully getting their bond, but knowing it's what makes him strong and aspiring to be a trainer like Friede one day, which puts a neat little bow on the episode. So this is just a good old time. Anything Friede focuses is bound to be a banger. We saw that in episode 18, and while this doesn't quite reach that peak, it's still great seeing him and Cap running around butting heads at times, but having this unspoken bond and using that to their advantage, as even people close to him don't quite fully get them. The framing of Liko having a school project for this was a cute idea too. Like, it's not really necessary, but seeing her confused about her report when Cap and Friede don't seem to get on 100% fine is a funny little joke. And of course there's that lovely little ending where she talks about how much Friede inspires her. Overall, it's a nice episode with some nice animation, and what doesn't really feel like a big plot relevant episode, I'd still recommend watching it, especially if you like Cap and Friede.